Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chanel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to be doing my April TBR. So I'm very excited about the books I have planned to hopefully read in April, and to me my TBRs aren't me saying I am going to read every single one of these books. It's me saying I'm really interested in these books right now and it would be cool if I got to them, and if I don't, that's alright. You know, it's all for the enjoyment of it, but so far I'm enjoying doing these TBRs and yeah, it's going well. This TBR is ambitious, so a disclaimer, I don't think necessarily I'm going to get through, well, I'm not going to get through all of these books, probably. We will see. But there's definitely a theme to them, which is interesting. I've learned I like a theme. Anyway, the first book I'm currently reading, and it is A Net for Small Fishes by Lucy Jago. I'm just under halfway through, so I'm hoping to finish this one pretty soon. I'm really enjoying it so far. It is a historical fiction set in 1609, well, and onward. And it's not a retelling of The Princess and the Pauper. Princess and the Pauper, I'm thinking Barbie. Prince and the Pauper. It's not a retelling, but you get the vibe. Basically, it focuses on our protagonist, Anne, who just wants to be in court, wants to be in high society, wants to enjoy that, wants to enjoy the titles, the security of life, wants to enjoy that security for her children. She's a very loving mother. Then we see her become best friends with a woman who is high up in the court and who just wants a happy life like Anne has, as she is miserable in hers. And so you see their bond and the steps that they take to redirect the paths that their lives have taken. Yeah, that works. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm just slowly picking my way through it, and it's not a page turner. It's very interesting and things keep happening and I'm like, wait, what? But it's good. It doesn't hide the nitty gritty, but I like that. I like that a lot. Like, I really love like dark, gothic-y, atmospheric, nitty gritty books, and this really works with it. So it is set in London, and yeah, I am adoring it. Now, the next one I want to read, so every month so far, for 2 months in a row, I have been reading the Non-Middle-earth, I guess, books of Tolkien's. No, they're like smaller side books that aren't a part of the Lord of the Rings saga would be the better way to say it. So I've read Roverandom, Smith of Wootton Major, and the one I'm going to be reading this month is Farmer Giles of Ham. I love this cover. I'm really excited for this one. Like, these are, the editions are just stunning. I'm really excited to see how I feel about it. Currently, I prefer Roverandom to Smith of Wootton Major. After this, I just have Tom Bombadil left, and I know that's Tom Bombadil in like the Lord of the Rings saga, but it's his own story. And I'm excited to see how I feel about this one. I have a feeling I'm going to love Tom Bombadil. I have no idea what this is about. I feel like a dragon. I feel like it has a dragon, which I think would kind of have a bit more of the element that I'm into rather than Smith of Wootton Major did. So I'm so excited for this one. And it looks like it is longer as well than Smith of Wootton Major was, which is what I want. Blah. So once I'm done the 4 of them, I will be reading The Hobbit, and I'm getting more and more excited to get to it. But I like that I'm just getting a little snippet of his writing and his world building at a time, and it's drawing it out, because once I've read these for the first time, I can't have that experience again. So I'm really trying to treasure it, because I have a feeling it's going to mean a lot to me. So yeah, I'm excited. Now, the next one, I'm mentioning these in a weird order, but like they will make sense. The next one's almost an honorable mention. The next one, out of all of them, if there's one I'm immediately like, okay, I'm not going to get to it, it's this one, which is funny, simply because for majority of March, like for my March TBR, I was very unsure of it, like pretty much leading up to it. I didn't really know, and I ended up reading more or less what I planned and loving it. But it was a very weird month and a weird reading month and a weird time. However, I became very sure of my April TBR pretty soon into March and was excited for it, but it's changed. And I really wanted to read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This one I have had on my TBR since last year. It's one of those books, when I first heard about it last year, I just got the vibe that this was going to be something really special. And I got very excited to get it. And then once I had it, I kind of wasn't in the mood for it anymore. But I really want to get to it. I feel like it's going to be really special. The thing is, my particular edition is 600 some pages, about 640 pages, which is a lot. Now, they're obviously smaller pages, so, you know, it might not actually be that much. The font is a bit smaller, but not like crazy smaller, though I have been having more trouble with smaller fonts. So the way I could see myself getting through this is if I read along with an audiobook. And if I kind of focus this one on audiobook. So I am going to take a peek because I do really, genuinely just really want to read it. But considering how things have changed in my TBR, I wouldn't be super surprised if I don't get to this one. Now, the reason my TBR has changed is because of a few birthday books. I am going to be doing a whole birthday book haul video. It'll probably be up pretty shortly after this one, but spoiler, oh wow, 3 of these were in it. Net for Small Fishes was a birthday book. But this one kind of changed everything for me. And this one was more or less a bit of an impulse buy. So I was doing an order on Waterstones and came across this book, and it's just, it sounds like exactly what I want and I'm in the mood for. And that is Daughters of Night by Laura Shepard Robinson. This book sounds so good, and it is much larger than I thought it would be. It's about 560 pages. But for some reason, large hardbacks intimidate me way more than large paperbacks. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. Like an 800-page paperback wouldn't intimidate me as much. I don't get it, but it's how my brain goes. So I kind of want to read it right away because I have some hardbacks that I haven't picked up just sheerly because of their size. And I'm a bit nervous if I don't read this straight away, it'll become one of those. But as well as that, I'm so curious about it. It's like a historical fiction murder mystery. Basically, there are these 2 women. Well, in the story, there's one. She comes across her friend, the second woman, who has been fatally wounded, and the last words she says are, "He knows." So clearly they have this secret that can't get out. So our protagonist decides she has to solve this murder that they need to find the murderer. It's set in London in 1782. And the police are very much so involved in solving the murder until they find out that the murdered woman was a highly paid prostitute. And then they could not care less. However, to our protagonist, that does not matter, and she's still going to solve it regardless, and enlists help to do so. And I love that. That sounds so cool to me. And the end papers, can we just take a moment? I'm going to take a moment in the book haul too, but like, I did not know it had end papers like this. Like, I would put this on my wall. Like, if that was a print, I would put that on my wall. 100%. It's gorgeous. That was such a nice surprise. They can be such hidden gems. But the the main thing that like really drew me to this book, and like this is such an interesting thing in books to be interested in, is that it's dealing with the life of a prostitute. And I was like, yes, that sounds amazing. I think, so mainly it's because, I'm going to mention now a book I have read, but it's all relevant. I read last year The Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Faber, and I loved 98% of it. I hated the ending. I hated the ending. And the ending, I have a feeling it would be very, you either really like it or really do not. but I really did not. I was livid, raging. It lowered my rating for the book, but a year later I am still thinking about it. So I actually went on the other day and raised my rating for it to 4 stars from 3, because like if it hadn't had an ending like that, it would have been a 5 star, so I should have just had it at 4. It is focusing on the life of a prostitute, Sugar, in Victorian London. So it has that nitty-gritty, like the Victorian Gothic dark atmospheric descriptions, which I love. And it shows her and another character, but really her in her life, trying to become independent and see what steps she needs to do, like what steps she needs to take to become that, and how she can achieve her goals, and how her life happened the way that it did. And it was so interesting, and I loved it. I just loved seeing, like, you know, not the high and mighty hoity-toities of it all, but like the underbelly. Like, I loved it so much. Just the ending. Upset. But when I read the synopsis for Daughter of Night, I was like, okay. Ever since I've been looking for something similar to this. So, I am hopeful. As well as that, I was watching, I think a vlog of, yeah, it was a vlog. I'm like, was it a haul? No, it was a vlog of Noelle Gallagher's, and she, for school, is reading, or was reading, Roxana by Daniel Defoe. But when she said what it was about, I was like, okay, I need this. I want to read it. And it's about prostitutes again. So, basically, in this case, this woman has 1 child, multiple children, 5 children. She has 5 children, and her husband leaves her. Her husband just straight up leaves her, and she has to decide, does she want to live an honorable life and like scrape and beg for food for her table to maybe provide for her children, or does she want to go into like the life of destitution and live in lap of luxury? So we see the choice she makes. We see how that turns out for her, and how she starts to enjoy it, and I'm really excited about it. Again, I'm like, okay, Crimson Petal and White, come on, like, give me another book that gives me that vibe. So it's there's a theme to April, odd but true. So that's why I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to North and South, because of the sheer size of Daughter of Night. I would love to. I think it would be great, but at the same time, I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself, because what's the point? What is the point in that? But no, all in all, I am really excited for the books that I've got on my list here. I don't know necessarily what order I'm going to read them in. I'm really eager to read Tolkien. I was upset because on Tolkien Day I'd already read Smith of Wit and Major, and I promised myself I would only read 1 a month, so I couldn't start Farmergallus of Ham, so I couldn't read Tolkien on Tolkien Day. But I will make up for it. And I can't wait. I think the books are all gonna, I feel like, A Net for Small Fishes, Daughter of Night, and Roxana, they all have very similar, like, aesthetics and atmospheres and vibes, but I feel like they're all going to really shine in their own way. And then I will have a Tolkien book with a dragon. So that's good. And I don't think I actually said what North and South is about. I don't completely know. I think a girl living, a comfortable enough life goes to live in a mill town. Yeah. And has to live a very different life, and I feel like at first she does not take to it very well, and a romance ensues, and she starts to see things in different ways. The quote on the back says, "You look as if you thought it tainted you to be loved by me." And I just really like that. I get a very good vibe of what the romance is going to be like. As well as I've heard there's like fantastic fruit imagery in it, so I'm intrigued. But yeah. Those are the books I am looking forward to reading this month. You will see a few of them again in my book haul, which I cannot wait to film. I'm really excited for. So, I hope you had a great March. I hope you have an amazing April. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. And I will see you in my next video. Stay safe and take care. Bye.